Good evening and welcome to the Instant Rewards Back Office Live Training for the Instant Rewards Network. We won't be covering the Instant Money Network tonight, even though we've done some tutorials on that before. We've shown the difference in the similarities between the two, how they both connect into the Instant Rewards Network on the offer sites. So tonight, what I'm going to do is take you all through just a real quick rundown through some of the basics. And if any of you have a question, just type it into the chat box there in your control panel, and I can either unmute you and we'll talk, or you can just send me the question in the chat box. But let me get started on this first, and I'm going to start showing my screen here. Can everybody see my screen? I'm on the Facebook landing page.
I see it.
Okay, great.
There are 5 other colors on the path.
And now I'm on the Craigslist. So I'm going to put everybody back on mute because I'm catching a lot of background noise and a lot of echo. So this call is being recorded. This is Ernest ODell. I'm your host tonight. And we're going to cover some of the basics again on the Instant Rewards network. So if I go over here and click on, I've already got a little tab here. And I use one of the lead capture pages in the back office that has Larry Beacham's video. And they're all good converting lead capture pages. This one here on the first thumbnail on the top left is the default when you sign up and you get registered into the back office. This is the one you'll see. And this is nice because it's got a lot of the proof images up there, which is a good selling point. Even though we're not really having to sell anything. One of the things that I like about this one here is it's only about 4 minutes long, kind of quick, and it's a real quick introduction by Larry Beacham. It does a real good job in about 4 minutes explaining what to do. I've had some people tell me and ask me perhaps I should do a short tutorial of maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but I don't think I could do as good as this video here. I think Larry's done a fine job. This is my default right here. This is the one I use. There's a lot of advantages to using some of the different ones. It depends on how you want to market yourself. You may want to use something that's static, that doesn't have any video in it, something like this, might work well for you in some of your advertising and marketing channels. And then of course this one here, it's kind of a basic layout. It's got some proof pics, some of the advertisers, register now. It's got registration up here. You just basically they type in their name, email, and phone number, and then continue with the registration and go through the registration process, do their offers, and get started. If you don't have access to this back office, it's probably because you missed a step. And if you have, let's go into Facebook real quick, and I'm just going to go over it because I'm not going to go over and over and over the same thing over and over. Not when I've already recorded it and put it up. So become very familiar with this Instant Rewards Facebook group. And on the, let me close this. The Instant Rewards Facebook group, you want to check out the file section up here, and you want to let your people know to check that first link there. And it may get moved down, okay, as some of the other admins may create a document or upload a file there. But this is getting started with Instant Rewards Network. A lot of the same basic rules apply to the Instant Money Network, okay. Getting started with Instant Rewards is a real quick 19-minute tutorial. It'll take you through that. And then the introduction was the first one we did, and then Facebook timeline marketing covers some of the concepts of what we've done on timeline. Here's back office basics, and then this is completing your registration. So if you've missed the registration completion, you want to watch this replay. This right here, and this one are the last three. These are a little bit more advanced. We go into using canned responses on Craigslist, posting on Craigslist, some of the Craigslist posting rules, and then the back-end offer strategies is a 2-hour session that we did Wednesday night. A lot of people were late showing up for the Wednesday, which is the first Wednesday session. I guess they, forgot. So they were a little late showing up, and we got a late start, and we had some question and answer period afterwards. This site right here, it also lists Craigslist on there as one of the ad sites. But as I've told everybody, don't get hung up on Craigslist. Some people say you can post on Craigslist 3 times in 48 hours. I found it safe to do one ad every day, every 24 hours, which keeps me within that 3 ads for 48 hours. So I'm safe enough, okay? But the top 25 is a good place to start. This right here is a neat little program. I'm going to open it up in a new tab. The 24/7 backlinks, when you sign up, you get 1,000 backlinks absolutely free just for signing up. And when you create your account, you I guess I better put my email address in there. Okay. And then get logged in. All right. Well, I'll have to go back and check my password. But what they do is with the 24 backlinks, it creates linkable content in hundreds of thousands of forums, and you can actually get, I think, 5,000 backlinks for like $5 or $25 will buy you 25,000 backlinks. Watch the video. It's good instructional. A little 16-year-old hacker turned me on to this. It takes $25 to buy 25,000, and you'll get 1,000 free just for signing up. So that's like one 1/100ths of a cent per backlink. So it's real cheap, and it puts it in the forum post. They're a little bit more advanced on their SEO techniques. And I get a lot of traffic because what I'll do is I'll create a specific campaign link to run in this 24/7 backlinks program. So I'll be able to track it. I can track the links. On these other ad sites, you'll see it in the back of the Facebook group here. Read the training over here at the IMN Marketer until your eyes pop out of your head. There's a lot of training there. A lot of videos here. There's going to be another video tonight. When I get through, I'll upload it in the morning. And then you can, probably have about 7, 8, 9 hours worth of video training here. As it accumulates over the next several weeks, next several months, it could turn into a lot of video watching time for new people as they come in throughout the summer and at the end of summer. So it can be quite extensive. There's a lot of material there. It's not going to cost you anything to access it. The links are out there. Just click on that link. It'll take you over to YouTube, and it'll fire it up. When you see a notation here, that's just to tell you to complete your registration to the back office. You can click on the link down there in the description below. So here's your description. Now, if you want to get regular updates to these videos, just, when you click on the video and you're watching it, click on subscribe. You'll need to have a YouTube, or not a YouTube, but Google account. Google owns YouTube, so create a Gmail account if you don't have one. That way you can just, subscribe to these channels. So every time we do an upload, you'll get an email notification. All right? So let's go back here to the classified ad sites. And just one more tab up here is more classified ad sites. And there's always a number of services being added here that you can use. Some of these are upgradable, like US free ads. You can upgrade some of your ads over here on AdPost, Adland Pro, Backpage. You can, pay for specific cities. US free ads, of course, and Quick Ads has a nice little highlighted ad that you can pay for 30 days, $5, pay for it with PayPal. It gets a lot of views. On AdPost up here, I get, probably about 50 to 60,000 page views a day. Unique views, it probably drills down to about a little less than 50% overall. In the course of a month, I'll probably get a couple of million page views, and out of that, I'm probably running somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000, 600,000 views to the page. Now, a lot of people will bail, okay? Some people will just, they'll just bail off the site because they don't see any validity in the work-at-home industry. There's a lot of legitimate jobs on the internet that people are using to work at home, but they've been brainwashed by the media. They've been brainwashed by a lot of Craigslist, and it's like right here, help, frequently asked questions, avoid scams and fraud. There's a lot of truth to that. You do want to make sure that you don't come across scammy or appear fraudulent, and don't ever ask anybody for you know, personal information. As a matter of fact, in some of my ads, I tell them, you know, you don't even have to submit your resume. But people do because they don't know any better. A lot of people will put their resume up on Craigslist, and that's probably the worst thing you can do. If you haven't talked to an employer, especially if you're looking for a brick and mortar job, and you haven't spoken directly to the employer, gotten their phone number, and asked them how do they want, you know, the resume sent to them, I wouldn't offer it up, you know, because there's a lot of rules about resumes anyway. If you send somebody a canned template of a resume, then you know, it might not be according to the template that they want to see. So always read this about your own personal safety and think of the other guy, how you're advertising on Craigslist. There are certain words that you don't want to use on Craigslist when you place your ad. Now, we're going to place an ad tonight, okay? I'm going to go ahead and log into my account. And let me go over here and get logged in. And you see I've already got some here. I took this one out the other day. I found some money on the sidewalk, lost and found. I do a lot of things as psychological tests. This one here got deleted. It got flagged. And occasionally you'll find somebody you know, will come in and either flag you or the system will flag you because it had, you know, some words in it that probably shouldn't have been used. This right here, this click here to apply, I can tell you why it was flagged. If you look down there on the lower left, down here, when that gray pop-up, this is a clickable link. It says instantrewardsnetwork.com. Bam! Okay, that's what got me. It was the bots. And I'll tell you why. You do not want to use instantrewardsnetwork.com, instantmoneynetwork.com, instant payday, U.S. Workforce, any of these. I'm telling you now. They've got them flagged into their spiders and bot system for a reason. Is because there's only about 10,000 of us a day coming into this business, and we're all hitting Craigslist like a bunch of cockroaches in a dirty restaurant, and they're oversaturated. So what do you do? How do you get around that? All right, let's take this and copy this text right here and use this for part of an ad. Let's go over here and say, let me open up a text file, go back into an account, and let's say, let's look at this and grab some content here. And let's go back to my account and say new posting. And like I said, there's certain rules that you want to pay particular attention to when using Craigslist. Don't post in the same category day to day. Don't post in the same job section. You might put something in, you know, like a gig, okay? You're hiring for a short term. You want to hire someone, continue. You might put it in tech support, computer gigs, okay? And put your posting description. So let's go up here and create a real quick ad. Let's go in there and look. We're going to put computer gigs posting in there. So we might change advertising referral agents needed, and we'll use this for our title. Okay, see if we can't get away with this. We pay daily depending on your output. Let's go over here and grab some of this. We're not going to do the click here to apply. Now let's go up here and we're going to take my phone number out, okay? We pay daily depending on your output and production. You set your own schedule. These positions are for inbound calls only and no cold calling. Ideal candidates should be able to, let's say, have good word processing skills and cut paste copy, and we'll just say good phone skills and cheerful personality. Okay, we train you for the rest. Average pay, you can say something like average pay is $20 to $50 per hour, depending on experience and output. And we're going to take this compensation comment out. Take that out. We provide training. And then we're going to say, reply to this ad and do not change the title. Leave the title as is. And then we're going to say, check your email for an immediate confirmation. Must use a real email address and no AOL or throw away emails. And let's see, we'll say serious inquiries only. Now, What they're going to do is they're going to reply to this, and I'm going to leave this up here, the specific location for the city. I'm not going to put that up there, and I'll tell you why. If you put a city in there, it's going to narrow down the search terms so you don't get as broad exposure. So we're going to leave that, all right? Down here on the pay, you want to probably say average $20 to $50 per hour, and I don't show the street address. I'll leave that blank. Okay for others to contact you. No, you don't want to check that. Okay, you'll probably get some anyway. You'll probably get some back recruiters that try to recruit you. If they send me an email through the Craigslist system, I just mark them as spam, and that pretty much takes care of them from ever contacting me again. If they're dumb enough to not pay attention to the message that they shouldn't try to send me other commercial interest, then they deserve to be kicked out of the system. Now, I'm going to continue here, and I'm going to say done with images, and this is going to be my advertising referral agents needed, okay? And then I can publish this, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and publish, and this is what my ad is going to look like here. Now, once you post your ad, even before you get the email notification, Craigslist will send you an email notification. There's a way of posting on Craigslist without logging in if you don't have an account, and that'll be handled in another tutorial. There's plenty videos on YouTube where you can find that, okay? What I would do from here, okay, advertising referral agents needed, I would say, I'd go from here, and then I would create a canned response, okay? Rather than creating another canned response, I'm going to let you guys just go back over here to the Instant Rewards Facebook group, and then come in here and watch this third from the last. After I upload this one, it'll be fourth from the last. Watch this video using canned responses and how to create a canned response. It's pretty detailed. If you don't grab something and quite connect with it, back it up and watch it over and over and over, okay? I get, a lot of questions. As you see, I've got 2 notifications up here now. Sometimes I'll get people that'll ask me technical support questions for the the offer sites that I don't have any access to. I can help to a limited degree, but sometimes they just don't know where to go. And I'm not always on Facebook during the day. What I would do from here is I would build a canned response, and I would take and cobble one of the canned responses that I've already put up over at Google, and I would just go in, and I can probably do this in under 5 minutes. We're a half hour into the webinar, and I am going to show you how to finish this in about 5 minutes. We're looking at a drafts, and here I'm going to take a real quick look at this. All right, don't want that one, so let's go back. And here I'm advertising referral agents needed, so let's say not that one. I want okay. Let's go ahead and do a Control A, Control C. Control A is a highlight all. Control C is copy. Now I'm going to go back over here and compose. All right. I'm going to start a new email. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to post that in here. Need to come back over here and take the same title that I put on my Craigslist ad, come in here and post it here into the subject. Okay. You recently requested more information about our job listing. If you're ready to start working, then apply at Instant Rewards Network and watch the orientations. As soon as you submit your information, you will be redirected to an orientation which will explain the work requirements. After you watch the orientations and fill out your application, you will receive an email confirmation of your application, blah, blah, blah. Make sure to check your email and spam bucket in case it gets lost. I'm going to bold that. If you have any questions, just call me. Warm regards, Ernest ODell. Now, we're going to save this by coming up here and clicking on this link that says Canned Responses. All right. And we're going to scroll down here and we're going to find the new canned response. It's a little hard because it's grayed. It's not real easy to find, but it says new canned responses in italics. Click on that and it'll automatically put the title that you have up here in the subject line. Now, it'll save that. Now the next thing we're going to do is come over here to Settings, click on Settings, and we're going to click on Filters, scroll down all the way to the bottom, say Create a New Filter, and we're going to put the subject line in there that we used, and we're going to say Create Filter with this search. And we're going to say OK. We're going to click Send Canned Response, and we want to come down to the last one we just put in. Advertising referral agents needed. We're going to not click this. We don't want to apply it to the confirmation email from Craigslist, because if it pings back and it hits the robots and the spiders, it could flag your ad before you even get it up. Okay, now we're going to create the filter. Now what we have done is just created a new filter in less than 5 minutes. And that is it, folks, okay, on that. I've gone over this many times, and I don't mind going over it again, so it kind of shows you real quick what to say, what not to say. There's certain words you don't want to use in your ad. You do not see work from home. There's certain things you don't want to say in a Craigslist ad because it'll get flagged. Number two, you don't want to use domains that have been flagged by Craigslist. And one of those domains, sad to say, is znzpromotions.com, ushomeworkforce.com, instantrewardsnetwork.com, instantmoneynetwork.com, instant payday, DYN, you name it. They're in there. Trust me. Do not go into the Craigslist forums looking for help. If you go into Craigslist forums with their help system, they will eat you. Okay, they're vicious. I do not mind saying that. I waded in there, being kind of new, here about 8 years ago, new to Craigslist, looking for help, on posting, and it was like walking into a shallow pond full of alligators with dead chickens tied around my waist. I'm telling you, folks, they started biting and chewing up on me and calling me all kinds of names like I was stupid and everything, faster than a jackrabbit on Cialis. I'm telling you, these people are vicious. They've got volunteers, and they've got people all over the world, and probably about 50 of them just over, over on the West Coast. They No, it's not a bad idea to use Craigslist, not at all. It's just that you have to kind of learn their rules, and it's a learning process, trust me. Amanda, I'm going to tell you right now, Craigslist is a different animal than any other classified ad site on the internet. But I keep telling people over and over and over, don't get hung up on Craigslist. Anybody that's been dealing with me over the past year that I've worked with and over the past 15 years will tell you, I'll say it very upfront, okay? Craigslist is a different animal. They can get vicious. If you get flagged, if you get ghosted, just let it rest. Use some of these other sites over here, okay? You'll find them back here in the Getting Started section of the Instant Rewards Files section, okay? Getting Started with Instant Rewards. Use the imnmarketer.com and the classified ads over on .webs.com. I'll add more resources to it as we go along. There's a ton of resources here on this site. First two pages, home page and the second page. For those who want to get into the proxy services and call center resources and all these other, there's other resources. But the first two pages about, that's about all you need to be concerned with, okay? Craigslist, like I said, is just another advertising platform. It's just another free classified ad site. I've been tempted to take them out of this listing, but to each his own. I mean, if you use Craigslist, just know that they have certain rules that you need to go by. If you break their rules, you'll know it. There won't be any doubt in your mind. They'll slap you so hard that you'll turn around, you'll be looking southbound on a northbound train. They're rough. These people that get in there and start corresponding on these forums, they're tough on people and they're rough. So there it is, Craigslist. Don't get hung up on it. Use it. Just don't lose it with them. Okay. Now, I'm not going to post a new posting in here. I've already done one. I've already done one tonight. So, a little bit later, I'll check over here and see if do my real quick poll here. I've got all kinds of traffic solutions that I use. I use a lot of paid networks, but one of the things that I've tried to stress to people when you talk to people on the phone, call everybody you can. Every listing that you get, okay? I've got a ton of listings in here. All right, here I got another one. You'll get a copy. Here's one. Craigslist reply. Here's Carol. No phone number. Tell me what you're looking for. Lots of sales, retail, and telemarketing experience. Okay. Here's one. Carol. Same one. Okay. I'll have to, This one here has an automated reply. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this one also. So all she has to do is just pay attention to the ad. And if she goes to that ad on Craigslist, okay, it doesn't say check your email. Yeah, it does. It says check for immediate. If you feel like you fit the bill, then reply to this ad, leave the title intact, and check for immediate reply. I got to change the wording on this because some people go up and actually click on reply and then they put intact. You know, it's like, Jesus, do these people know what intact means? That means leave it the hell alone. Okay? You know, I'm pretty blunt, but, you know, if they can't follow instructions, then, you know, I just ditch the email and I don't bother calling them. Because if they can't follow instructions, they're going to be, you know, they're going to drag you down, slow you down. I spend about 3 to 5 minutes on my first initial call. I do not spend a lot of time on the phone with these people. I get them started, get them 3 to 5 minutes, make sure that they're sitting at the computer and they check their email. It's common sense, you bet. It's common sense, you know. But a lot of people don't have common sense, and you will find a lot of jokers and time eaters and time wasters and tire kickers on Craigslist, okay? This is why I set up a very specific campaign funnel on Craigslist. Step 1, I create the ad. Bam, right there, okay? Step 2, they reply. Here's the ad up here that you're going to see it live. Step 2, they reply to the ad. Step 3, they should check their email as it said right here. Okay. Now see, I did change it right here. I said, do not change the title, leave the title as is, instead of saying leave it intact. So this way, you know, if they don't get it, okay, they're just not going to get it. Okay, Tina, you had some questions. Let me unmute you and see if you can't talk to me. You got a microphone? Tina, can you hear me? So you don't have a microphone, you can't talk to me. Okay, well, maybe you can call me a little bit later. Contact me on Facebook, inbox me or something. I'll send you my number. But we're recording live right now, so I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody back. Just wanted to say a real quick shout out and hi to Tim, buddy of mine over in Louisiana, and Parita. We've got Margot from Washington, D.C., Lori, Helen, Amanda, Teresa, and Tina. This right here, okay, when you get these calls from people, you know, and you may get calls from other classified sites like classifiedads.com. Classifiedads.com, bam, okay. I'm running similar ads, okay, looking for a job breakthrough. I've got a canned response set up on that. So when they look at this ad and it comes up through either a search, raw search on the search engine, or it gets aggregated into a big job board, it's because they went over and scraped classifiedads.com. There's only, I have a list, I guess, of about 4,000. There's probably more. But they go out there and they have robots scraping the internet and the search engines for these ads because there are certain keywords in here. These keywords right here, okay, are going to get your ad indexed. So you're going to get picked up. When they respond to this ad, they click on that, They put in their name, their email, and then their message, and then they hit that message. When they send that message, it's going to hit your Gmail account, and you have to have a Gmail account to set up a canned response. You can set up a vacation message or a signature file like on Yahoo or Hotmail, but it tends to go out to everybody that sends an email into your inbox. Everybody gets the same thing. You only want this to go out on certain triggered subject lines. So the subject line, okay, is this right here. 5 asterisks, space, advertising referral agents needed, space, 5 asterisks. That right there, folks, ladies and gentlemen, is the trigger. This is the trigger right here. It doesn't matter if it's sent from Craigslist. It doesn't matter if it is sent from classified ads. If I use that same title, advertising referral agents, it doesn't matter. I just showed you what a canned response is. I just went over it just about 10 minutes ago. So watch the video replay and watch that canned response right here from last week. It will show you. If you go to YouTube, let me go back over here and properly log out. Go to YouTube and type in canned response Gmail. It will come up with a list of canned responses on Gmail. One of the best tutorials that I have found was Matt Wolf, okay? So if I check canned response Gmail, Matt Wolf, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's how he spells his name. I've got it notated, but there's about 290 results just on canned responses in Gmail, okay? Autorespond. It's kind of like using Gmail as a single layer autoresponder, but it's only triggered on a specific line. Here's one that I did for U.S. Home Workforce back on January the 1st, creating canned responses for Craigslist. This one I actually missed the step, so I wouldn't pay any attention to this one because I missed the filter step in it. But there's other in here. You can go in here and look for Matt Wolf. Here he is. Matt, he's, internet marketer. I'm subscribed to his channel. He's got a lot of great resources over there. I don't mind recommending him and giving him props and kudos. Here it is. Turn Gmail into an autoresponder. 19,000 views. He put this up about 3 years ago. This is a good one. It's based on the old Gmail layout, but it's still easy enough to figure out. Okay, so if I copy this, I'll plug it in over here in the chat box. You guys can grab that, bookmark it, and watch his. In the meantime, and then go back over here and watch these videos. Pay particular attention. So if the canned response is just, it does the work for you. I can be on a road trip, okay, and not see my computer for 12 hours. I can drive from here to Houston, Texas, or from here to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and never stop and check my email. And this canned response, okay, that I just created for this right here, it will work on any classified ad site where I'm using this particular subject line, and with the instructions, if they don't change the title, if that title is sent through, it'll automatically trigger. Otherwise, I have to, answer them manually, okay? But the problem that a lot of people are running into is they're talking to people that, think that every work-at-home job is a scam. I got news for you, folks. I've been dealing with people in the oil and gas industry for the past 38 years in telecommunications. Most of the people that you talk to, if you call in for customer service, they're dialing in on a network, okay? And they're working from home. This is why, they go through an interview process and they want to know, if you have the environment to work uninterrupted, undisturbed, you can't have kids crawling around your feet. These are legitimate jobs. When you log in to these call centers, you're working from home. They don't care if you're working, naked, or as long as you're not on the camera. What they do care about is that you're not distracted because you're on their clock, all right? So, yes, there are legitimate work-at-home jobs. There's plenty work-at-home jobs, all right? Let's go over to Lubbock Craigslist, and I posted that in gigs, computer gigs, referral agents needed. There's my ad. Okay. No, that's not my ad. Yeah, it is. It's one of my old ads. That goes over to the ir-referralapplication.webs. Oh, it's still up and running. I put that back on, July 26th. Okay, I know what I did. I renewed it the day before yesterday. All right, so the new ad that I just put up is not up yet. So sometimes it takes 15 minutes to 30 minutes. It might take, 45 minutes. Here, let's get back to, and here's something that you can do. We get into the Craigslist automated reply. There it is, okay? Advertising referral agents needed, computer gigs. One of the things that can help, okay, is if you go to your ad, click on the best of link, okay? Reload it and, click on best of a couple, 3 times. You might reload it 2 or 3 times. I don't know if it sees it from the same IP or not. This will get it posted a lot sooner and will help you get a better ranking on Craigslist bots anyway, to keep it from getting flagged. And, if they do come in and flag it after a while, let's go back and check computer again. Referral agents needed. That's an old one. All right. So that's it. I'll find it later. It'll come in later. So let's, when you're talking to people on the phone and they have concerns about legitimacy, they think everything's a scam, and say, well, Sears and Macy's and J.C. Penney's are on the web. Amazon is on the web. Are they scams? United States Post Office, they're on the web. Are they a scam? No. These people have been doing business for the past 15 years or plus or more. Advertisers have found that, TV watchers are going to sit there and mute the commercials, or they're going to TiVo through them. So what they have done is they've gone through people like us at Instant Rewards to help them overcome that. So the companies pay them, pay you directly to do that. Once you get paid, once you're greened, you can sign somebody up on your site, and then they do their offers, you get paid, and then once they start signing people up under them, they get paid. Now, me, I usually do the little $20, $25 offers. I do the double up, I do the easy and the starter, or vice versa, because it's easy. I know a lot of people love to get in there and try to make the 20 on the starter and the 80, because the 80 pays $80 and the 60 pays 70. It pays an extra $10. But some people, they get in there into the 50, 60, or the 80, and they have to do 4, 5, 6 different little offers to get that full credit. You don't get as high as conversion ratio, because you find a lot of people that bail out. They just bail. They say, they either don't know that they've got to get a 1.0. You got to call them back and walk them through it before they can get started, or you can just, do the starter and the easy like I do all day long, just bam, 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 just keep cranking them out, And if you make $20 to $40 per referral, and you can get 5 or 10 referrals a day, that's $200, $400 a day, just doing small. You just have to do a few more, of the smaller ones, but it can be done. There's a lot of people doing this full time. They don't have a day job. Some people are working part time. Some are working full time jobs. They come home and work this, a couple hours in the evening, a couple hours in the morning. It's just as legitimate as J.C. Penney's and the U.S. Post Office. I'm not giving any kudos to the U.S. government for running the post office, because they're not doing too great of a job there either. But you've got to get over the negative media perception, all right, and be willing to, talk to people. And the more people you talk to, the more people you're going to actually get signed up. I got a double, so I need to fix this. Ambitious Moms Wanted. Well, I messed that one up. Okay, but anyway, you see what I'm doing, and so Amanda, could you clarify your question? You say, so is it like autorespons? The canned response works like an autoresponder. It only triggers on a particular subject line. If you set up a vacation message, then the vacation message, like in the back of Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, it triggers on everything that comes in. Well, you don't want that, okay? You don't want your canned response message going out like a vacation responder. The canned response only triggers on particular subject lines, okay? So if I log into my account here, And one more time. Go back here and look. All of these, and you notice each one is unique in its title. You don't want to use the same title from one job to the next, or from one day to the next, or from one category to the next. You want to change them up a little bit. Now, you can use all caps. Now, some places won't allow you to do that. Okay? So if you get over here to the classified ad sites, you know, some of these sites that you log into, like UAdPost, UFreeAds, US Free Ads, El Clasificado, you know, they'll tell you, you know, don't use all caps, and you can't use an uppercase in each word beginning. They only allow, you know, one. So you got to be careful, you know, where you're, you know, it's like this one here, this little outfit here. They allow you pretty much a lot of leeway. 3,000 words per ad, so you can get, you know, a pretty big ad for free on this site. Just go over here, you know, when you get to that site, and just say post an ad, and then you can just, you know, put your ad, your name. You can leave your street address off. Anything with an asterisk requires a name, city, state. You don't have to put your zip code, phone number. Email address is needed, yes. So they send you a verification. Then put the URL of your home page. You can check up to 3 categories. Okay, so you can put business opportunities, customer service, and employment. You could put your ad in there. We could use the same ad that we used over here. Grab this, copy that, come back over here, put it in. Well, it doesn't like that. It's a little bit limited on the title. Text of the ad, you know, we just grab this and copy that, come back over here, paste. Preview. Oh, missing fields. Got to put my name. And we'll put that one there. No, that's not the one I want. Instant Rewards Network, DMS Group, there. And preview the ad, and there it is. Got a nice big description there. Here's the link they can click on and say, all right, it's free, post it. We got it in 3 categories. Nice little place. Okay, and they'll send me an email. So, you know, this is over here on the classified ad site, down here at the bottom, classifiedsnetwork.com, right next to the between the VAST and 24/7. It looks, you know, bare bones, down and dirty, but I'm telling you, folks, it works. Okay. So, if there's no more questions, I do want to keep this short. I've got a road trip tomorrow, going up to Tulsa. So, Wednesday night, tell your people to be here. Get on the call with us. I'll be doing it from Tulsa, Oklahoma. One of the reasons why sponsors are not always much help, Amanda, is sometimes they don't do the business they don't give it a fair shot, and they're really not familiar with it, or they're intimidated, or they've gone on to other things. People are distracted by shiny objects, out of sight, out of mind. They might be off on something in the next 6 minutes or 6 hours, okay? It happens, okay? They do. They'll give you the links and then just send you on your way, It's like, okay, here, you figure it out. Well, sometimes, and you can ask Parita this, because, I work with Parita almost every day. I'll take people, link to link. I'll show them step by step, and you just watch what I'm doing. You watch what we're doing, and you'll learn. You'll make money here. Okay. The next training on Craigslist. I really don't need to do any more training on Craigslist. I think I've done it 2 or 3 times. I think I can just, talk myself blue in the face on Craigslist. I want to scream it at the top of my frickin' lungs. Craigslist is not the only game in town. Facebook training, yes. I've got some Facebook videos up there. I'll do Facebook training. Timeline it's on here. Facebook timeline marketing. I will include some links in here on searching for Facebook groups. Show you real quick, just a real quick rundown before we go. If you've got the new graph search on your Facebook, type in groups named work at home. It's pretty intelligent. It's going to groups named work at home. It's going to put it into quotations. Click on that, and it will come up with a listing, and it'll show you more than 1,000 groups. You don't need to change any of these filters. You see where I've already joined some of these, okay? If it says join with a little plus sign next to it, all you got to do is just click on it, okay? So let's go down here and find one that I haven't joined. And I come to find out, I thought you could join like 300 maximum. On this particular account, I've got over 600 Facebook groups that I belong to. Okay. Something else, after you join all these groups, when you get over here to your home, and I want to wrap this up quick. If I catch anybody using these auto posters on my groups, I can guarantee you they're going to get kicked out of the system. They're going to get kicked out of the group because they are a nuisance. If people don't know how to use them, they can cause you to get slapped by Facebook and thrown in Facebook jail. Okay, I come down here because I got more than 5 groups that I belong to. I'm going to click on this more link when I get on the same line with groups. That will pull up a directory of all the groups that I belong to. Okay? You want to create your own group? You can create your own group up here. You can bring your peeps in there for training, okay, and support. Then you do a control end instead of scrolling down, and it'll take you down to the bottom. Now let's say I want to post an ad up here. I'm going to click on Work at Home Moms. Okay, so this is kind of a new ad here. I'm going to open up a new, find one of my ads real quick. Come over here to my instant rewards, Facebook ads. looking for a job breakthrough. Thank you for adding me to I'm honored and hope to be a benefit if you need to make some quick cash. All right, let's grab this. Put this down real quick. Grab that, come back over here, post that in there, save. Now, let's copy that real quick, and I'm going to say, okay, I just joined this group. Here's some suggested groups, okay? If it does not pertain to internet marketing or work-at-home moms, you don't want to join the group. Sometimes it'll show like 2 or 3 or 5 group listings. What I can do is paste that right there and click post. All right, go back down as submitted for review by an admin. I'm going to go down to the next one, click groups, and I get a lot of ads. I get a lot of leads from Facebook groups. I do post manual. I do not use these auto posters. They'll get you slapped faster than a jackrabbit on Viagra. Okay, work at home. Yes, we're taping right now. I'm going to take this, click OK, post, post, cut and paste, 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 post. And I'll do about 30 of them in the space of about 5 or 10 minutes, okay? I can do about 30 of them in the space of, 5, 10, 15 minutes tops. Go back in the afternoon, do 30 more. Late at night, do another 30 or 40. Do 100 a day, okay? It takes me about a week, sometimes 2 weeks to go through this whole list, you know, in a lap, okay? We've gone over this before. So if I just manually scroll down with my roller on my mouse, you see that little scroll bar over here on the right? It's going to take a long time to get down to the bottom, okay? And now I'm into some that I've used more than a month ago. And the reason why I go in reverse order is because you want to start with the oldest post that you last posted on at the farthest time away. So you go to the last one. Says post anything here. Here I want to click OK because I'm just recently added, so I want to post Control V as in Victor, post. Now, here's some suggested groups. This is another way to join groups, okay? So if you're posting in these groups and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, I'm not doing MCA, so I'm not going to join MCA. Contractors and small business networking group, it would probably be out of place for me to join that and then be posting there, so I'm not going to join that one either. Successful women, they might say, you know, what's a guy doing in here? They might not let me in. They might. Go ahead and click it. All right. Here's winning with my home-based biz. How about you? Post it. Join. All right. Helping those searching for employment. All right. Here's another good one. Join. All right. So I've just joined 3. All right. And I've already posted. So let's go over here, and this might be a little time consuming, but you know what? You can join 2 or 3 here and there. You can request to join 30 or 40 of them in the space of 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and post at the same time. Here's another one. Okay, I'm going to go click OK. All right, let's post. And now the reason why I'm saying thank you for adding me to your group, if you need to make some quick cash, I'm at least acknowledging that somebody added me to my recent request. Now, there's no groups to join over here. All right, so you don't want to follow any of these. Click on groups and do one more, and then I will shut this down because we're going over 20 minutes. And let's say marketing. Click on marketing here, and we'll say OK. And here I'm going to let Michelle Massey in there because she's applied, and that right there, and say here's one, work from home. Click entrepreneur, join, click online money, join, click marketing, join, click HR forum. I don't know if that's like human resources, but we'll try it out. Okay, and that's basically it, for searching. I'll put up another YouTube video that I've already done on this, on the graph search, how to search for various groups. All you got to do is just plug in groups named, you can say legitimate online work at home jobs. Okay, there's one group. It just happens to be the one I own. Okay, I set this group up. It's got 84 members in it. Okay, so let's look at groups named MLM. Might want to try, looking for some groups named MLM. It'll pull up a listing, and it'll tell you if there's less than 100 or more than 1,000. And you see where I've already joined a bunch. Like I say, you don't want to change these filters. You want to leave the membership blank. Privacy, you don't want to set it to closed, secret, or open. You just want to leave it blank. The name, leave it as is, and about, you can just leave that. And you see where some of these groups, they've got 23,000, 14,000 members in them. Somebody's going to see your ad eventually. You post to enough of these groups, and I say manually, if you go in and use an auto poster on a bunch of these groups, and you've got 300, 500, 600, 800 groups, and you do a select all on Hootsuite or some of these auto posters, Facebook will shut you down if they don't kick you out. Okay, they'll shut you down for big time. You post that many groups in less than a minute, they'll flag you fast. They'll flag you faster than Craigslist. Okay, so if there's nothing else, then I'm going to unmute, and I'm going to say, Michelle, how you doing?
Yes. All right. How are you?
Missed you, but that's all right.
Yeah.
If you come in late, I'm going to upload this, and everybody can watch it later.
Okay.
And Rita,
Yes, sir.
where's Shorty?
Sleeping.
Where's my buddy?
He's asleep. He needs to be asleep.
Okay. I think Gary was here for a little bit, and Tim was here for a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of introduce some of the people in our webinar. Helen says, I haven't been posting that much on Facebook and still got permanently suspended. Not having much luck at all, still posting ads anyway. A lot of it, like I said, is wording that ad, okay? So if you take a look at this ad, and you see I've got this ad pretty much real short and to the point. Thank you for adding me to your group. If you need to make some quick cash starting today, inbox me or check me out at, and then post a link on Facebook. Now, some people will flag your ad on Facebook just like they do on Craigslist because they don't have anything better to do with their time. Or they're jokers. Or they're jerks. Whatever. People will do that, okay? I'm an admin over on the Instant Reward site, and I still got flagged by somebody in the group. And it was about this webinar, okay? Now, I know who it is. I'm not going to say who it is, but I can still get around them. So it's like, what are they, what are people accomplishing here? I'm trying to help people out with these webinars because these webinars, once they're recorded and uploaded on YouTube, they're evergreen. They're available for, 24/7, 365. So, it doesn't do them any good to, flag me or mark me as spam, especially on a webinar link. Because, this is resources that's going to help you. I hope it does. I think it's a little bit sophomoric, and childish for people to do that. But, I've got better things to do with my time. I pay for this webinar software out of my pocket. Nobody's paying me for this. I've got membership sites that, that pay me, thousands of dollars a month to do this. So I don't mind taking a couple of hours, 3-4 hours a week, to help. Like I said, I don't know what I did or what I said to make this lady an enemy. I know who it is. It was a lady on one of the groups. But, be that as it may, I hope they're making money with this. Maybe they can start their own webinar. I'm not trying to build a name for myself and toot my horn. Like I said last week, I already have a name for myself. I've got gurus calling me to do work for them. I do work for multinational corporations. And you Google my name up on the internet, you're going to find my name up, anywhere from 770,000 listings to 3.1 million, okay, depending on how you spell my name. Some of them are dead guys with my name. They're not all me, but, I've worked hard, okay, to build this, to build my brand over the past 15 years on the internet. So, I don't need to go out there and rattle any sabers and, toot my own horn. I've done all. I fly below the radar. I just, I make my money and go on. I just try to teach, and show people how to do it. This is legitimate. Send some of your peeps over to these YouTube videos. It's just as legitimate as Amazon.com, JCPenney's, Macy's, United States Post Office. Go to Avery.com. You can look up anything you want on the internet. There's all kinds of businesses that use the internet, even financial planners. You know, that's true. Just keep being persistent. Lori, you keep calling people and you talk to people. You don't have to sell this. You stay in control. They either get it or they don't. Okay. And I have a cliche little sign posted up here on my wall in the office. Some will, some won't, so what? I just go to the next call. And the more people you talk to, the more money you're going to make. Okay. The more people you help get started. I've got another vertical running right now, a summer special that pays out as much as $233 per referral, and I can crank out one or two a day, standing on my head, drinking 4 fingers of tequila, and I can still do it. Okay, I could do this drunk, blind raving drunk, okay, and still make money. But no, I stay sober. But this has got to be the easiest thing. And when I found this back on April the 11th of 2012 last year, and I got it to working within an hour or two, I said, okay, I found something that works. Not that I was looking, but I said, hey, while I'm here, I might as well. I make money and they send it to me. I'm not going to send it back. So with that, I'm going to say good night, and you guys have a good weekend. When I get this uploaded, check out those YouTube videos, go over some of the previous videos and watch them, and subscribe to that channel so that you get email notifications. So if you do happen to come in late on one of the live sessions, or if you miss one of the live sessions, you get the email notification that it's been uploaded. You can go back and watch this. Now, we're an hour and a half into this session, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a night and say thank you. Good night. You're all very welcome.